Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
And, howdy. I got a dog barking here, but, yeah, great. All right. Hey, Blue. Yeah, cool it. And you see what control I have. Okay. It's because it's a snow day and nothing's moving, and the dog walker who he's waiting for is late. Anyway, it's a Tuesday, and that should mean my sister's on the line. Susan?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am, but you doubted me.
Well, I did because you weren't there at 10.
Yes, I was. I've been on the line for 5 minutes.
No, it did not show in my... It didn't...
Yes, I have been there. I called in at... Actually, I exaggerated. I called in at 8:57.
That is very odd because you didn't show up on my screen. How the hell is that? Oh, never mind. I'm so sick of all of this, I can't see straight. Anyway, nothing seems to work like it did. I call.
My guess is because it thinks I'm calling in, and until this show officially starts, it's not going to show me on your call-ins.
Well, that's not the way it used to be, but fuck it.
You know, it's not, but that's the only explanation I can
Oh,
think of.
God almighty. Okay, well, what the hell. So, I'm trying not to be annoyed. So...
I can tell you're annoyed by everything. It's a snow day. Just be quiet and calm.
Well, the thing is, I've got a ton of things to do today, and knowing I have to go out to 3 separate appointments, which requires me to drive when people will be freaking out because of the snow. And, the schools are closed. Let me tell you, it looks to me, 3 inches on the ground. If schools closed when there was 3 inches on the ground, you and I would still be in
we would never have gone to school.
Well, we would have. We'd be in 2nd grade at this point. I hate to, sound like an old fart here, but Jesus H, big fucking deal. It snowed.
Well, no, it's the same thing here. I came from Green Bay where it wasn't. We got maybe 2 inches. It just wasn't. It kept snowing, but it wasn't
sticky.
It was like thin hair. It didn't amount to anything.
Right.
And then you get to Chicago, more moisture as you go south, more moisture in the snow. And Milwaukee, I could tell there was more snow. Chicago, because they don't plow. But the interstates are clean as a whistle.
Sure.
And then you get down to St. Louis, where I had guests that were supposed to come in, but St. Louis really doesn't know what to do with snow. They honk if you get stuck. They totally don't get it. So my visitors have canceled because it's snowing there. And if it's snowing there, what must it be doing here? The sun's out here. But anyway.
Well, whatever. And that's the weather report from Susan.
That's the Midwest weather report.
Okay. Mary Francis is telling us that it's a snow day in the Cleveland too. Well, maybe it's just because it's pretty. I don't give a shit. We are a. I'm sorry. I just think we're a weak, pampered, unable to deal with anything kind of people.
No. We are primed by media to panic.
Well, that's true, but that's right.
You have to actively fight it. You have to look out the window and say, look, It's not that much snow. I'm going out. The car
You know-
can handle it. I'll be careful.
You know what?
Well,
No, the headline in on my feed today said snow pummeling Pittsburgh, and I am sorry, that is not true. And it is true, and you will note that television weather has grown into a monster. It even supersedes the sports department, which used to be the biggie. Weather is a way that you can always scare people and
get clicks.
overstate, get people freaked out. And but we're also now living in a time with these algorithmic crapola where people make money out of making us constantly anxious and frightened. And and because then you
No, I honestly I had to urge myself to stop sitting in the chair worrying and get up and look out the window and to believe my eyes.
Yeah. Well, I give up.
They make it very hard to believe one's eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So
and where you started, even if you're being pummeled with we got 6 inches of snow, it's still no big deal. Nothing stopped. Everybody, and they don't plow in Chicago the way they plow in Green Bay, but everybody's off doing their stuff, walking their dogs, and
life goes. It's just
winter.
Amazing. Life goes on. It's winter. I don't know.
Right on cue, like the flu season. It happens.
This annoys me every year. Every year. I woke up and I just loved it. I opened up, I thought, oh my God, because it's so beautiful. I just think it's so beautiful because this is a wet.
It really was beautiful. Yeah.
This is a wet snow, and so it's sticking, and it's just lovely.
It's encasing every little twig, and it becomes a winter wonderland.
Yeah,
just gorgeous. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there. Anyway.
And may your snow be silent, unlike in St. Louis where it clicks.
What do you mean it clicks?
Oh, snow makes noise in St. Louis because there's always ice in it.
Oh, okay. So what do you?
A different quality of stuff.
Okay. I can't figure out where to start here today.
It's all so awful.
It's all pretty awful. I'm not. We're not going to have one of our lighter days. There's a children's book, Give a Mouse a Cookie.
Yeah.
And I saw a headline today that said, give a 12-year-old an iPhone and you increase their chances of obesity and depression. Now, I'm willing to bet that an awful lot of kids have phones before they're 12.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
My grandkids don't. My eldest grandchild, who is male and 11, was given a watch that he can SOS out on and get a text on, but it's not. He can't scroll or do anything like that.
Well, if your kid is got a device that lets them scroll, I mean, you're immediately getting them at such a vulnerable age into the culture, which is so toxic and doesn't do anything good for anybody's health. I don't know how anybody.
No, like selling beauty products to 5-year-olds.
Well, yeah,
they need them. I mean, that's part of it. I was listening to a woman in the business saying, children were explicitly off limits.
Selling
back in the day.
Selling everything. Selling
Yeah.
is what we're all about. We're beyond, commercialization doesn't begin to explain our culture. I mean, it is just everything. And it's stuff you don't need. The thing you absolutely want right now is the thing that'll be offered up on a sidewalk sale next year. We're just it's insanity and it's crazed. And again, it brings us to why Trump is the perfect embodiment of our nation's culture now in so many ways. So, what do you make of this? The Dells from computer fame. Are you aware?
Oh, giving all that money to Trump's accounts?
Well, now wait. That's what pisses me off. There's no way they should be named Trump accounts.
Well, and how come it's only for kids born in 3 years?
Well,
why is that a special class?
Well, Susan. I mean,
yes.
I don't know. There's so many questions about it that nobody really.
Shall we tell?
Okay.
Sorry.
So for those who don't know, they said they would deposit $250 in investment accounts for 25 million American children. Now that's extraordinary. And to me, and it's unclear.
Yes, and you should know about it. Anyone that has a baby born in the years 25 through 28 or something.
Yes.
Only your children and all of your children born in that period sign up. They're going to put $1,000 into account. They can't withdraw it now, but it will grow like an IRA. And if you put $1,000 away, it should grow nicely. And you can contribute up to $5,000. Yeah.
This was an effort that has bipartisan support and always has. The fact that it passed the Congress when the Congress is under the thumb of Donald Trump, these things were never to be called Trump accounts, but he, of course, insisted. So that if, in fact, it's like, Obamacare, that rankles the hell out of him. And he wants these things to be called Trump accounts. So that if they take off, if they get renewed, if in fact this goes beyond 2028, which I suspect it will, he will forever have that wondrous thing as part of his legacy. And it just pisses me off that he does that. Now, I mean, when you do something like this, there are so many unanswered questions. The federal government has not set up these accounts yet. So even though
nor funded them,
even though the children who will benefit from them are going to be start being born in 4 weeks, they don't have this thing up and running.
No, it covers children born in 2025.
Oh, okay, right. So there's all these kids, and it's not set up yet. None of it.
And you have to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it.
Well, the fact is, they're not at the stage where anyone is in a position to ask for it. But the Dells, knowing this thing will supposedly exist, are saying they'll throw in another $250 to 25 million children, and they're going to figure out which children those are by a zip code. So zip codes where people with means are living, those kids ain't getting anything from the Dells. The Dells are trying to focus on kids living in places that don't have a lot of money. So I don't know. That amounts to, I mean, giving away $250 to 25 million kids is is over $6 billion, which makes what they're doing one of the largest private philanthropic gifts ever, to go directly to Americans. And the good thing is more and more of these rich people are figuring out how to specifically target their money and not have it running through third parties. And this allows them to do that kind of thing, so others could feed into funding these children. It's a way of spreading the wealth. I don't know, but good for them. I'm just pissed that these things, and I refuse to call them Trump accounts. He just can't own it. It wasn't his effing idea. He did nothing. Just saying. Watchman saying, shoveling the sidewalk and didn't have a heart attack, so it's a good day. Lynn,
I gotta put you on hold for a minute. I have to handle business here.
Go ahead.
Right back.
Bye. So I did the same. I didn't shovel everything, but I shoveled a path. But it's a heavy snow. I felt the same. Anytime you can shovel and not have a heart attack is a good day. It's heavy to lift. It is. But I was able to, I think, do it. And in fact, while I was speaking, the dog walker quietly came in and got the pooch. So all that is good. Okay. So there's a big special election in Tennessee happening today. I don't think for a minute that the Democrat's going to win. It's a totally red district. And what the polling is showing is the Democrat surprisingly having much better poll numbers than would ever be expected in the district. But if, in fact, the Democrat pulls off an upset tonight in that bright red Tennessee district, it would be it'd be something to cheer about. I'm hoping, but I don't think there's any real chance of it. Let me see what I got here. I was stunned to see a listing of the most populous cities in the world. I had always thought, silly me, that the most populous city in the world, why did I think it was Mexico City? Because it was? I don't know. Susan, what do you think the most populous city in the world is?
Tokyo?
Well, it's up there, but it isn't. I always thought it was Mexico City, which always surprised me that Mexico City was that big. And it turns out it isn't. They just the UN just released the latest numbers, and I mean, almost all of the most populous cities are in one continent. And what would that continent be?
Asia.
Yes, it would be Asia. So,
and is the city in India?
No, it is not. And in fact, India doesn't show up until number 4, but it does have 2 cities on the top 10 list. But Mumbai is not one of them. It used to be. It's dropped.
Yeah.
So the two Indian cities that are in the top 10 are what I think of as Calcutta, which is now spelled Calcutta, and New Delhi, which is number 3. But the most populous city in the world is Jakarta, Indonesia. Do you know how many people live in that city? I mean, stop and think about it.
I don't even want to guess.
42 million humans.
Good Lord.
42 million. I don't know. How many live in New York City?
I don't know. How many square miles comprises Jakarta?
It is spread out. I don't know that I have the square mileage. It is spread out, but there is no way. It's spread along the northwestern coast of the island of Java. It is densely populated. I would think so. So Jakarta, and then the next one, I have to tell you, I don't know where it is. Dhaka is the second most populous city. Dhaka. What is that?
Dhaka?
Look it up. Oh, the capital of Bangladesh. It's the capital of Bangladesh. Okay. What? And it has 37 million people. So, who even knew? I don't know. Then comes your Tokyo, then New Delhi, then we finally get to China, Shanghai, and Guangzhou, and then we get to Africa, Cairo. That's the only African country. There is no North American country, and there is no country in the Western Hemisphere in the top 10 list. And so Cairo is the furthest west you get. So the population of the globe is just so heavily Asian. Just saying.
Amazing. Yeah. Well.
I mean, I don't know. And the fact is I don't, we think, I'm just saying, Sao Paulo, Brazil, used to be on the list. It's dropped out. Mexico City has dropped out. Mumbai has dropped out. Beijing and Osaka have all been dropped down. So, I don't know. I can't imagine living in a city that huge. I just can't imagine. And you see with this horrific fire in Hong Kong.
Oh, the horrific fire and the flooding. But I'm also watching a scene that only happens in a city where some woman is in a parked car trying to get out of her parking place, which is, of course, sort of snowed in at this point. And some guy in a truck here on different business sees what's going on, stops, gets a shovel out of his truck, and he's gone right across the street and is shoveling her out.
That's a nice guy.
Well, I think it's people in a city. I'm just, there's all these different views of cities.
Well, I love them. I mean, I just love cities, and I don't I feel like I've lived in all kinds of different places. I've lived in a big city. I've lived in a small town. I've lived on a farm. I've lived in the Midwest and in the East Coast, and I just find cities, the energy of a city, the diversity of a city, just endlessly fascinating. It says in the United Nations report that the majority of human beings on this globe strangely, do not live in those huge cities that I went through.
Well, it just sort of scrambles your brain to think of those numbers of people and then dwarfing it by other numbers of people scattered all over.
That's right. But so where they live, most people live where I live, in a small or medium-sized city. Most people in the world live in cities, but in smaller, they don't live in these huge places. But it's in those medium-sized cities that the most growth is happening. I was reading something that Zillow. You all know what Zillow is if you're wanting to see how
yes.
Real estate anywhere.
If you want to look up somebody's house and see what somebody who doesn't know anything about it thinks it's worth.
Well, whatever, using whatever data they may have.
Whatever algorithms they use, yeah.
Yeah, so it is the largest real estate listing site in the country. And it has changed the kinds of information it's putting out there. It used to put out something called a climate risk rating. And certain climate risky areas rebelled. And those ratings are now gone because as soon...
Well, it said it was costing him money, yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as Zillow was telling a potential buyer that this is in a, flood-prone, hurricane-prone, mudslide-prone, fire-prone, in other words, the entire, pretty much the coast and a few other areas.
And the Rockies, yeah.
Right, but so there was such a hue and a cry, especially from California, that they backed off. Now, I must say that anyone who is
refusing to speak of such a thing does not mean that it doesn't exist and that you wouldn't take note of it if you were choosing to buy there.
Well, one would think that. That's what I'm thinking. So why do they? I guess, but Susan, this is a question I do have. Why do people keep moving to these areas where we've recent articles have said where they cannot get insurance?
I don't know. So let me give you an example. I know a couple that were thinking of buying, a retirement home, in Colorado, up in the woods above, in the ski areas, and I said, how do you predict where the next fire is?
And they hadn't thought of that.
And there was just this quiet. I said, why don't you rent and let it be somebody else's risk? Well, I'm a firm believer, and there are times that you might want to buy, and there are other times that you might want to rent. And I'm thinking vacation homes are things you might want to rent.
Well, again, I don't know, but I am just flummoxed by the fact that people still move.
Yeah, why do you
to
buy
hurricane
on the shore
on
in
the
Outer Banks? Why do you buy? It's really pretty when it's not storming.
Now, I just it blows my mind because if you can't insure, but that any insurer, why would anybody insure a whole stretch of California homes? Or in the I don't understand it, but this idea that like removing the information will somehow make it, make the reality go away is something we're seeing our government doing right now.
No, the only thing that removing information or tainting information does is kill people.
Well, right. So there was a great piece written by Catherine Rampell that put it this way: how do you eradicate hunger? How do you eradicate poverty, STDs? You just stop measuring them.
That's right.
And that's what the Trump administration has done. Government statistics that have been the bedrock of how you create intelligent policy they're not doing it anymore. Or they're winnowing, of course, the people who did those jobs down to a number that is incapable of doing the job. You'll recall, it wasn't too long ago, right, that the Bureau of Labor Statistics came out with, a number of how many jobs had been created that month, and Trump had a fit and
Didn't like it. Yeah,
and
did not
fired.
like that number.
He fired the commissioner of the Bureau. And what? Put in that person's place somebody who would, I don't know, crunch.
No, it's already affecting a whole bunch of things in the financial sector because numbers are either, you're not sure you can rely on them or they're not coming out timely.
That's right. You don't know anymore. The Bureau of Economic Analysis, they're the ones who come up with the gross domestic product number. They measure consumer spending. They measure inflation. Their staff has been just decimated. The administration, the Trump administration, has totally canceled all the surveys that were being done that measured food insecurity. What? We don't have any starving people. We ain't counting them anymore. The group that measures poverty, which is how the government has known who's eligible for Medicaid or for SNAP, for food stamps, for Head Start. All of these things have been eviscerated and or ended. Data collection.
But we're going to give them $1,000, which they can just look at, but they can't touch.
Okay, so data collection on substance abuse. Here, this is from her article.
Yeah,
Data collection on substance abuse, natural disasters. This brings us back to Zillow. Children's literacy, climate change, ain't no such thing, race, crime, immigration, all have simply ceased. Do you believe that? They have simply stopped collecting data, the government, on children's literacy, crime, substance abuse, natural disasters, and you know what? That means there won't be any unwelcome headlines.
That's right.
And
also absolutely no data.
Yes, on which serious civil servants would be able to make decisions. It'll be gone. So this, Trump, who has curated his own reality from day one, is continuing to do it by I just think of the damage.
If you have no information, you can't refute his. No,
it's just beyond belief. It is beyond belief. How do you eradicate hunger? You stop measuring it. How do you eradicate climate change? You stop measuring it. It's really, I don't know if people have, it's the kind of thing you just can't hold in your head for too long. It's too effing upsetting. It just is. You know what else I was thinking the other day? Because of Trump doing what he's doing with Ukraine and NATO and everything else, you know, you read stories about how Europe is stepping up, and you know, the French are talking about you know, how people are going to have to be step up and be in the army. They're going to have to build their militaries. They're going to have to, and then I was thinking, Japan, which has been a pacifist country since World War II, is now going to be going in the other direction. They realize they have to build up a military again. And the Japanese young are for that, because they feel they can no longer rely on us coming to their aid. Germany is rebuilding. It's putting a lot more money into its military. Now, I don't know about you, and it just seems to me that Trump taking away American aid in this regard is remilitarizing countries that don't have
the whole world, yeah,
that don't have a good record in how they necessarily use that power. Of course, we don't anymore either. But
no, we don't anymore either.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So whatever. And speaking of that,
I mean, we're daily committing war crimes. We're actively trying to, you know, overthrow a government. I mean, if what we're doing isn't war, I don't know what it is.
So that brings me to this Admiral Mitch Bradley, who is the guy in charge of that area you're talking about, and it's the one that Trump and Hegseth have decided that they've already thrown him under the bus as the guy who is doing all those war crimes, not them. Now, his goose is cooked. Those are war crimes. It is under his command. And you're looking at a guy who had an unblemished record, who rose from being a Navy SEAL up to top admiral. But because of this lawless administration, he's going to end up, who knows, behind bars. He's toast. Because he is in that chain of command that did what is a war crime. Hegseth, whether he knows it or not, is going to end up in jail. Same reason.
Oh, God, your mouth to God's ear.
No, and
as he's busily thumping his chest and pointing fingers elsewhere.
Well,
even though I said it was somebody else.
Trump will not, because of the Supreme Court and John Roberts giving him full immunity. It's unbelievable. You know, you might recall that there was an admiral, I think his name was Halsey, who resigned about a month ago. And I think this was his command.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm out of here. And it shows clearly what his thinking was. He saved himself And this Admiral Mitch Bradley did not have the prescience or the intelligence or the whatever
Or the character.
or to relinquish his high position so that he would not end up doing what those 6 Democratic lawmakers did the video about, that he acted on an illegal order. And we know from the Nuremberg trials that I was just following.
That would be a crime.
That I was just following orders is not a defense. So he should have done what the other guy did. The other guy is safe, sound, and his integrity intact. Maybe because of what the White House is doing to this admiral, it will cause others. All it's going to do is cause other men and women in the military of honor to leave, I guess. It's just, again, I just want to say the damage being done is beyond belief. Susan, are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. You got quiet, and I didn't know. Another thing, I just want to point out something else. This was in the Times today. At a time when immigration judges are more needed than ever before, right? Because they're having to deport billions of people. This is bizarre to me. The Trump administration is firing a lot of immigration judges. In one federal court in New York City yesterday, he fired 8 judges that do immigration. And 90 other immigration judges were fired across the U.S. In the last few months. So what's going on when you need them more than ever, but you're firing them? You know what's going on? They're
trying to deport them.
No. They're getting rid. They need the judges. They're getting rid of the judges who have not been getting rid of people like they want them to. They're getting rid of the judges who have, I guess, been following the law. Yeah. Or showing compassion. I don't know. One of the immigration judges says the court has been basically eviscerated. It feels like a Monday afternoon massacre. Well, it was. This is the court where you've seen a lot of video of ICE guys, throwing women to the ground and ripping kids from this. It's at that place and they've obviously been following which judges are not necessarily getting these guys handcuffed and deported as quickly as we want them to. I just, it's beyond belief to me. It isn't, but there it is. Uneffin'.
Well, that he can just reach down and fire judges that way. I mean, it is absolutely the opposite of separate powers, separate and equal powers. The executive branch should not be able to reach in and disappear officials of another branch.
Suze, I mean, they commit crimes with such startling.
I know. I know. I mean, I understand it. I'm just trying to remind people why this is wrong.
Oh my God. So, hey, I'm watching a dystopian series that
Great.
is yeah, seriously, because it's different dystopian. You know, it's not our dystopia. It's a different scary dystopia, and I am going to recommend it because I'm hooked. It's by the same guy who did Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan, and it's called Pluribus. Anybody else watching that? Good God.
Gladiator thing?
No, not at all. No, it's set in the present.
Okay.
And no, it's about an alien takeover of humanity.
Oh.
And what's wondrous about it is it makes you think about humans. It makes you think about the messiness of humanity, which we're living in, because the aliens haven't come yet, and the aliens come bringing their kind of order and efficiency, and a lot of humans like it, willingly accept it, right? It's really, I think, fascinating. So, because it makes you think, that's all. And I like stuff that makes you think. It's like the book I'm still reading because it's dense like a forest, and it's called The Overstory, and it is about trees. Has made me think differently again about humans and living things. And I just love feeding my head right now with stuff that isn't the crap that, I don't know, that is our culture. There's a guy who wrote a book called Blank Space, A Cultural History of the 21st Century. His name is David Marks, and he's like got it down. He's trying to show the horror of what has happened and the lack of art and true creativity that is happening to us now, and why. And it is because we can't focus on anything. There's so much frenetic activity that artistic innovation has truly become rare. And he says this: big tech clearly plays a role in this brave new world of timid familiarity. And I think when I look at our culture, that's what I see: timid familiarity. Just look at the
like what's that? Look at the movies.
The movies. Look at that. Look at much of the. I'm talking about popular culture, the music, the movies. Now there is great music. There is great, but it's not. And maybe that's usually the case. It's not popular culture. Although there was a time when the popular culture was great music and great art, and it's not. And it's just culturally stagnant. He calls it a slick sameness.
I mean, even if I think of many of the big musicians or big singers, at least, at least half of what they do is cover the wonderful music of the 60s and 70s.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak to the popular music now because I don't listen to it. I admittedly don't listen to it. So there, every once in a while, I'll watch the Grammys and I'll be blown away by some really good entertainment, and I'll be put off by I don't know,
by the rest of it. Yes.
I don't know, it's sort of just naked tawdriness. Anyway, this guy says this. I'm just going to throw it out there. With creators no longer required to pursue artistic excellence, culture has become a lowest common denominator battle for attention. There it is. The clicks. It's why everybody wants to be an influencer. It's why people are putting out babbling crap. I should talk. I mean, here I am babbling crap.
Yeah, but you did it before it was a thing.
Yeah, I did it before it was a thing.
You were the very definition of an influencer.
Yeah, well, but he talks about how how we got to this place where so many young boys it just embrace cynicism and how cruelty becomes something that they relish. It's very people. I don't know if anyone will be able to clearly write a story of the horror of what happened in this transition that is going on now. I mean, in the midst of the Industrial Revolution, I think it was hard to, exactly say where that was going to take us. And we're in the midst of this now technological revolution, which I really do believe will pretty much destroy humanity as we know it. I do.
Well, that's cheerful.
Thank you. Anyway, he says this. So far, the counter-cultural right, he's talking politics now, has most notably excelled in the attention-getting forms of memes and AI slop. But celebrating brutality is not from the margins. He's talking about like these, Fuentes and all those guys and all of that. This he's saying they used to be on the margins, but algorithms and tech have brought them further and further in. And he said, so if that kind of stuff is on the margins, okay. But as it makes its way into the seat of power, which it has, because Trump and his folks, Hegseth, are the embodiment of this cruelty, brutality. And once it's in the center, not the margins, we're fucked. I'm just saying. Now, maybe there's a way and there's time to pull it back. But we're losing a generation. I don't know.
It is pretty horrifying.
Yeah. Someone's telling you immigration judges are executive branch employees. That's why you can fire them. They're not. Okay. They're not judiciary.
Learn something new every day.
That's from Milton. You always learn stuff from Milton. Hey, what do you think Trump's MRI was about?
Do we know? We don't know.
No. The doctor has said it was what did he say? It's like proactive. MRIs are not proactive.
No.
They looked at, as they said, cardiac, heart and abdomen. So something's going on, but they're not being straight with us. And his unhinged aspect is growing by the minute. He's obviously, something's wrong physically, clearly. Mentally, we know that too. But
right.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, I wish it would hurry up.
Oh, man. Hey, you know what I found out? These are things I don't want to know.
What?
I don't wear a lot of makeup.
What?
You don't either, but most women do. And it turns out that makeup is full of talc. Talc. Talc.
Uh-oh, does that sue for cancer?
Yeah. The FDA, this is again, Trump's FDA has withdrawn a regulation, a rule that would have required makeup manufacturers to test their cosmetics for talc with traces of asbestos.
Oh, I'm so glad I went makeup free.
Yeah. So let me tell you, the European Union has declared talc to be a carcinogen. Ladies, talc
Johnson & Johnson paid out millions in awards to women that use talc in their underpants.
That's right. Well, now, guys, it turns out you got talc in your eyeshadow, in your foundation, in lipsticks. It's in mascara. You don't think it's there, but they like putting it in because it creates a silky kind of feel. It is also, I hate to tell you, an ingredient in lots of candy, in flavored chewing gum, and a lot of medications. Says right here.
Great.
Widely used in medications and dietary supplements, as well as common food items. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies talc as, quote, probably carcinogenic to humans.
Well, considering the number of the amount of plastic that I've ingested and the amount of forever chemicals that have been laced into my food over the years, I don't know. Maybe we're adapting. Maybe this is Darwin at work.
No, I don't know. It's a horrific rollback of a measure that was intended to safeguard us.
Particularly women.
Yeah, and it says this woman who is fighting this asbestos disease. She says it puts the onus on us to have to try to identify consumer products, and the average person isn't going to do it. If you want to start looking at your the ingredients on your in your makeup, you're looking for something on the label listed as talcum powder or talc or magnesium silicate. And if your stuff has that, magnesium silicate, talc, or talcum powder, you might want to stop using it. Just saying. The European Union has declared talc a carcinogen, and it will ban all cosmetics from having it in 2027. So I guess the thing to do is to buy European
cosmetics, but they'll have such high tariffs that you won't be able to get them.
So stop wearing makeup. I don't know what to tell you.
Stop wearing makeup.
But I mean,
make those men look at you.
Yeah, as you are. I want to say that, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of such god-awful tidings all the time, but I I'm simply reading the little bit that media is putting out there. And it's often these little stories that don't get much attention. And you realize how they're just killing us. But they won't keep statistics on how many of us they kill. I don't know. Pay attention. You got to take care of yourself. I think that's it.
It's not paranoia if they're trying to kill you.
No, it's not. Definitely not. All right, I think we're out of time.
Okay, we're done, and now my technician can arrive without fear. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Suze.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I'm really sorry about the depressing nature of the show today. My brother's going to come on tomorrow, and he is chronically depressed. So if you want a little more depression, definitely be here tomorrow. Although mostly we're going to talk about his work on gift giving, and since this is the season, and how fraught it is. And don't blame me, blame Art, one of you, who suggested that my brother make an appearance again on that subject. So we'll see. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm living in it. You are too.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.